This is the Jeff Cowan coming to you from thejeffcowan.com with my weekly podcast entitled Success in Sales and Life in General. And you know what? Those of you that have been listening to me over the last several weeks and months are telling me that you're getting just that. You're getting great tips to help you become more successful in your selling career and life in general. Now, if you've been coming to our podcast over the last several weeks and months, welcome back. If you're brand new to it, you're going to love it. And you're going to love today's message because here's what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to show you in selling how to stand out in the summer months. Okay, how to stand out in the summer months. You know, this is one of the most overlooked things that we have, and it's something that everybody, no matter where you live, you can stand out in the summer months above and beyond your competition with some really simple ideas that are extremely effective. So let's talk about that. You know, I mean, summer, why is it everybody likes summer? I mean, I love summer. I know you like summer, and I think it's pretty simple. You know, the sun comes up earlier, so you get more day. You know, it comes up around 5 o'clock out here where I live. The sun stays out until, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so there's more time to be outside. The temperatures are up, and so it's easier to want to do things outside, sit outside, cook outside, party outside, do it all outside, right? So why not tie that into the selling profession? So ways to stand out in the summertime. Now, when I'm talking about doing this, of course, you can do this with your prospects, but there's also another thing you can do with every one of these ideas, and that is if you're a manager, you manage salespeople, you can also take your salespeople and do some of these things because being different, a lot of times shows appreciation, and it gets people excited, and it's just different. It's things they remember, right? So let's take a look at some of these. Number one, how can you stand out because it's summer? Well, early morning meetings outside. I mean, it's really just about that simple. One of the easiest ways to do it is with breakfast. Now, breakfast is by many people consider it their favorite meal of the day. It's because where they get their energy. It's where they, good breakfast means you're going to have a great day, right? As a matter of fact, so many people like breakfast. What was it, just about 4 or 5 years ago, that pretty much all of the restaurants out there that serve breakfast, especially the fast food ones, now offer their breakfast products all day long. It was the biggest request they had for decades. People want to eat. They want to eat Egg McMuffins at 8 o'clock at night, just like they do at 8 o'clock in the morning. But when you're having breakfast meetings, not just a breakfast meeting, but a breakfast meeting outside. Now, what do I mean outside? Well, how about on the water? Living out here in one of the coastal states like I do in California, it's easy to have breakfast down close to the ocean, and people love it. You go out there around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you say, I can't invite a customer out at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yes, you can. You want to stand out, right? I mean, everybody likes going to the beach, and they look for excuses to go to the beach if you're on one of these coastal things. And morning breakfast outside, I tell you what, it's so quiet, and it's peaceful, and you really get to enjoy nature and whatnot. If you don't live in one of the coastal states, I can tell you I've been to breakfast on the water in many, many states. I remember one of the most memorable breakfasts I ever had was in Kentucky. It's a landlocked state, but I remember one time there was a prospect. I looked around, I found out that there was a lake close by that had several restaurants on this lake. It was just stunningly beautiful. I mean, it really, really was. It was very, very rustic and whatever, so I invited a couple of prospects out there for breakfast. It's no kidding. 6:30, guess what? They showed up. We loved it. I got the deal. Or how about this? Golf courses. Golf courses are not just for golfing. Many of them have clubhouses. Many of them have breakfast. They have lunch. They have dinners. And I tell you, they have some of the best patios and decks and places to eat outside. You don't have to golf, but you just sit there and look at nature and the quiet and all that stuff. A lot of things there are country clubs. I'm lucky enough. I live in a neighborhood where we have a country club. We belong to it. I love going down there in the early morning to their breakfast. You get down there, you smell the bacon, and you hear the nature and all that stuff. Just basically people like being outside at sunrise. So don't overlook the many opportunities that you have in the morning. If you want to stand out, instead of a lunch, everybody goes to lunch instead of dinner. A lot of people do dinners and stuff, but don't overlook breakfast and being out there early in the morning when it's cool before the heat and the whole thing. Now, sounds like I just kind of bashed lunch, but idea number 2, lunch, and lunch outside. Now, again, it's kind of the same concept here, but look for outdoor cafes. It's sunny. I mean, especially if you're in some of the states where you're further north and you don't get that opportunity in the winter, it's a big deal to sit outside at cafes, and not just for dinner, but lunchtime. People love that. Or I've done this in the past. This is something that's really, really impactful. If you have a customer, why not get a small grill or put a gas grill in the back of a vehicle, or you can even rent one and take it to their place of business and host a cookout. I mean, that's fun to do. Or how about this? Here's another unique one I had. I remember growing up in Indiana, there was a guy one time that wanted to do business with me, and he invited me out to lunch on his pontoon boat. Now, when I got there, I thought it was going to be just me and him talking business, but it was me and actually 5 or 6 customers. It was a big boat. We floated around for about an hour and a half on this reservoir, and it was just a lunch I'll never forget. I mean, it was really, really fun. Or how about if you do something like this? This is something I used to do for a lot of my customers, especially on the really hot days around lunchtime. I would take them watermelons, iced down watermelons, and I'd show up with like maybe 5, 10, 15. Shoot, I've shown up some of these places with 20 of them. I get a big knife, I cut them all off and serve them. I mean, people don't forget that stuff. It's a way to stand out. Or ice cream. Simply go by a grocery store or a high-end ice cream shop and get ice cream bars on just that, ice cream bars and that type of stuff, and take them and pass them out to people, especially if there's a warehouse involved. Your warehouse people will talk you up, you know. Or how about this? How about a picnic in the park? You know, our nation is very, very lucky in the United States because we're a nation of parks. We've had beautiful parks in towns, out of towns, countrysides and the like. That's another way to make yourself stand out. Hey guys, I got an invitation. Let's go to lunch, but I just want to go to a restaurant. Anybody can do that. I'm going to invite you over to the park. We're going to have a picnic. We're going to throw out some blankets, and we're going to have some picnic baskets there. We're going to have an old-fashioned picnic, and what you want to serve is up to you. You can grill out if you want to, or you can pre-pack some lunches, whatever. This is the type of stuff that people don't forget. Now, I've got a third and fourth concept here for you, but before I do, I want to talk to you about these books here. What I've learned from attending over 35 Indy 500s, Lessons in Sales, Motivation, Leadership, Management, and Life in General. This book is literally becoming a bestseller as we're sitting here. I self-publish it. I've got some people talking to me about helping me publish it. I can't tell you who yet because we're working on the agreements. It's literally flying off the shelves. If you're a company and you're looking for somebody to come in and do a keynote address at maybe a convention or a meeting, I've got 2 or 3 presentations on that book. They're about an hour, hour and 15 minutes each. If you would want one of those, they're just great. They're a lot of fun to do. Very exciting. Get some good content out there. I've also got a video program coming out with that. You can get those on the books or whatever on Amazon, Apple, wherever you want. You can call us, thejeffcowan.com or 800-248-2931. We'll hook you up with the book. Got a video testing program coming out with it. Got an audio book, the whole thing. If you're in sales, but you're looking to change, this book over here, Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, I tell you what, if you want to get in the automotive industry and write service, there's a lot of people out there, 20% of them, as a matter of fact, making over $100,000 a year, no college degree necessary. Doesn't hurt if you got one, but it's not necessary. I've known many people walk out of high school and make that kind of money. This book will get you there. There's a video program for that. Or just simply go to thejeffcowan.com and check out what we do. Again, we have the books, we have programs, we have all kinds of videos and all kinds of things, and there's more and more of that coming, especially over the summer. You watch, I've got all kinds of stuff to help you become the absolute best salesperson you can be. But again, if you're going to a convention, you're looking for a speaker, you got a meeting coming up, you're looking for a speaker, I'm your guy. I'll blow it out of the park for you, man. All right, so back to this. Ways to stand out in the summer. We were talking about, getting your people outside and getting them doing things. We talked about early morning meetings outdoors with your staff, or maybe early morning meetings with your customers, breakfast on the water at golf courses, country clubs. People like to experience the sunrise. If you're outside at 6:37, and don't be afraid to invite somebody to breakfast that early. I mean, they love being out there. It's quiet, you hear nature and get all the smells and stuff. Lunchtime, get outdoor cafes. Take a grill to their place of business and host a cookout. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. How about lunch on a pontoon on a lake, or maybe you take watermelons and ice cream and things like that to a place of business, or maybe how about this, a picnic in a park, and then do it the old-fashioned way. Bring blankets and picnic baskets, the whole thing, and you put in there whatever you want. But there's a third thing you can do, and it's dinner. Since the sun stays up so much later, why not dinner outside? Most cities and towns have rooftop places you can go to. Again, being one of the coastal cities out here where I'm at, there's a lot of these places that have rooftop things where you sit up high and you're over maybe on a cliff overlooking, the ocean. People love that. I've also been to many, many places. I remember one time being up in Oregon. Now we're talking in eastern Oregon where they're not on the water, and they were on a big lake that was kind of like this retreat type of place. And man, we went there and had a beautiful dinner on this lake, and you see the boaters out there and that type of stuff. That kind of stuff. Or maybe you just take your people out. Another thing I did, I remember one time, I was in the great state of Wisconsin, and dead center of it. I'm trying to remember the name of the town. But again, it was one of those things where a guy had a big pontoon boat. As a matter of fact, he got 3 or 4 of them together, and he invited several clients out, and they cooked dinner on this pontoon in the middle of the lake. Never forget that. Just being outside for the sunset. So that's idea number 3. And then finally, idea number 4, let's talk about some other things you can do now. Traditionally, golfing is a great way. I can't tell you how many deals have been closed, from the beginning of time on golf course. I mean, millions and millions. What about fishing, if you're in an area where you can go fishing? Boats, we've mentioned it a couple times in here, but those are great things. I mean, you can just take people out and cruise around on a boat. You don't have to feed them or give anything to drink if you don't want to. Excuse me. Or how about motorcycles? If you're into motorcycles, go on a ride, schedule a ride with somebody, meet us at our parking lot at our business at 6 a.m. and we're going to ride to here, we're going to ride to there, and we're going to have breakfast and then come back. I mean, those are all easy things to do, or just simply riding bikes. Remember one time I was lucky enough to get hired to work in Maui. And one of the things that one of the clients did, they invited me to a morning bike ride. And you literally got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We went to the top of the dormant volcano there, and we rode our bikes. We sat there and watched the sun come up, and then we rode our bikes down the side of this volcano. And by the time we got to the valley, it was about 7 o'clock. We had a big breakfast, and it was great. I'll never forget that. Or something that I like to do that I'm a little bit famous for in the summertime is use your home. Use your home. I mean, we've got a backyard. We're lucky enough that we've got a backyard. We put a lot of effort into it. It's a nice-looking backyard. We have a gas grill, and it's not unusual for me to have teammates over that work with me or possibly customers over and entertain them in our backyard and just have a couple of drinks and a nice dinner or a nice lunch. I do a lot of lunch. I've not done breakfast in my backyard yet, but I have done a lot of lunches and tons of dinners all days of the week. So if you want to stand out, remember, it's summertime. Get outside. Do something different. I think a lot of times people, they get to the fall and they look back and go, man, I went to all those lunches, but we did it inside. I invited all those people out to dinner, but we did it inside, And I forgot about breakfast and I forgot about all these other assets. Just get outside. I mean, that's the thing to do if you want to stand out, because I could go on and on and on about all these suggestions I've had that I've either done myself for my clients, and I still get people that email me and write me and talk about the different things that we've talked about here that I've done for them. And I can tell you some of the most memorable lunches and breakfasts and dinners I've been to or events I've been to is based on the same things we've had here. You just never forget those unique things. You're in sales. The idea is to stand out, gain attention, so people get interested in you and get interested in your product, and they buy a lot of it. And that's basically what I want you to do between now and next week anyway. I want you to go out and get your customers excited. Use some of these things. Get them excited. Because I tell you what, somebody that's been hard to get out to lunch, somebody that's been hard to get to dinner, you take them to a unique place out on the water, or one of these things we're talking about here, they'll go, because everybody likes to go. But between now and next week, I want you to go meet as many people as you can. I want you to get them excited about your product. I want you to get them so excited they buy it, and you earn a ton of commission, because tons of commission is fun because it allows you to live the life that you so deserve. Because I can tell you this, between now and next week, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get as many people as I can excited about my product and get them to say yes, and I'm going to collect the commission, and I'm going to live the life that I deserve, because I work hard, you work hard. Let's make it happen. It's summertime. Come on, let's go have some fun. Take care.